Committee in the building, and y'all know I got my co-host with me, man. Can't wait to introduce these boys. Let me get my sound effects right over here. Y'all already know, man. I got my guy, Patton, aka the Mailman, aka the Streets, aka
Draft God activated.
Yes, y'all already know, man. And we got my guy, man, Killer Cal in the building, man. And man, let me give everybody a hand for tuning in tonight, man. We appreciate y'all. As y'all can see by the name of the show, I like tight ends. Patton came up with the name. We're gonna have a big pause on that one right there. But
that's what OC said.
Yeah, that's what the OC said. As y'all know, I mean, if you've been living under a rock, you don't know that we have hired our OC. It is you know what I'm saying, Nick Haley. They done already had the what they called at the press conference. There was a lot said at the press conference. Some people are excited. Some people are worried. Me myself, I'm excited, man. I'm on board. Seems like D'Amico's on board. He brought up a lot of good points. There was a lot of stuff said in that. Not only the press conference, but the interview that he did with what is it called? Coffee something with the Texans. I don't know, but that was a pretty good interview too. I didn't get to check that out in its entirety, but I seen some clips. Definitely thanks to some of the other Texan content creators out there. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all another hand for tuning in, and we're gonna start with some questions to my guys, man. How do y'all feel about, you know what I'm saying? How do y'all walk away from that press conference?
Cal?
Oh man, when we discussed it on prior shows, you know, once Chip Kelly name started getting thrown in the mix, you know, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind Chip. I did have to say that it was some prior players. People tried to limit it to Shady and Deshaun Jackson as being disgruntled players, but you know, it was other players that was like, you know, and I think having bad chemistry with Bobby, I don't think D'Amico wanted to go that route. So my preference was Kelly, but then when Kelly name came into it, and when I saw that he spent 8 years over there in New England, I was like, okay, it's some kind of connection. And then when I saw that he had already interviewed for the OC job prior, before Bobby getting hired, I'm like, okay, so they familiar with him now. You know, then I start to see that he's up under Sean McVay. So you start to look at the two offenses, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. And that was my second choice. But I kind of felt like that they was going to lean that direction, because everybody that they interviewed, they didn't interview Chip Kelly, but Kelly had the most, I think really the most real experience that I said that it was going to be the one. So I feel pretty good about it, man. If I'm pretty much like 95% positive. I'm gonna tell you why a little bit later, but I'm 95% positive. I'm gonna go ahead and pass Pat.
Excuse me. So I watched the interview a couple of times in its entirety. Let me get my jokes out first. For a minute, I didn't know if it was a D'Amico press conference or a Nick Haley press conference, because all the reporters was talking to D'Amico more so talking to
They were.
Yeah, you know. Secondly, maybe it's just me, but don't he look like a fat Johnny Manziel with a beard?
I gotta look at him again. But yeah, I can kind of see that.
He look like a fat Johnny Manziel with a beard with a fade. I was like, damn, did Johnny do a rebrand? Like, what's really going on here? But You know, me and Cal were talking earlier about this, man, and one of the things that stood out to me the most, and let me say this before I say that, he's our OC. You know, as you see this, you know what I'm saying right here. So I got it's over the heart. So I got to lean with it. I got to ride with it. But I'm gonna say this: he said he's not married to neither the New England offense or scheme or the Sean McVay scheme. To me, that kind of rose antennas. And as I was thinking about it, this me and Cal were talking. You know, I'm looking at it as if he's throwing people off already. He's telling people he's not telling people what I'm going to run. Oh, I'm not married to this. Oh, I'm not married to that. So that puts us back at square one with we don't know what we're going to get. You know, as a fan, we all just got to sit here and enjoy the ride, good or bad. But my attendance is pointing up. I feel like we're going to be good. We got the things we need. And of course, with the draft, actually free agency is around the corner before the draft. So if we are able to go into these situations and add what we need, the right pieces, I think we'll be all right year one with him.
Yep, I think from my point of view, I love anybody that loves the game. I mean, if you're gonna be in the position to be the OC, I want you to be the best that you can be in that position. Pause. But what I think is that what he brings to the table, he high energy. I mean, he even said in the press conference that he runs to every spot he trying to go to in practice. If he going over here, he running over here. So I better not catch him walking nowhere because I'm gonna be like, bro, you said in the press conference that you run to every spot, everywhere where you going. So we need him running everywhere. We need to see him being high energy. But all jokes aside, I think that is it. I have been seeing online, you know, that a lot of people like what you, and I'm glad you brought that up, Patton, about the you know, his offense and the way how he's not really married to one scheme, and how he talked about in the press conference that if he had to run gap 45 times a game to get the win, then you know what I'm saying, he would do that, which means to me is that he's an OC that's smart enough to take advantage of your advantages. Meaning like okay, I seen that, okay, this play is working against them. They can't stop the run. So let's run the ball down their throat this week or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
do whatever, because what we will see is that Bobby would not adjust. And it didn't allow us to take advantage of certain. It's almost like he didn't even care about studying the other defense and what they could run. It's like, hey, I'm gonna run what I run, and I'm just gonna come out there and do what I do. And it's like, nah, that's not it. It sounds like with Nick Caley, he's gonna kind of be the opposite of that. His offense is gonna change. I know we heard that before, right? And I want to give a shout out to all the people that's been online that's been saying, "Oh man, this sounds like the Patriots, the Bill O'Brien." I heard one person that was giving this argument, and I wish I can give them their props, but I can't remember exactly who it was. But they were saying that, you know, people act like that Patriots offense wasn't good. You know, like that it wasn't a dynasty, like it wasn't one of those offenses that once upon a time in the early 2000s we was all looking at the TV like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying, they were super efficient. Tom Brady barely got touched. And by the time he did get touched, the ball was out his hand so fast. So the problem is that you could never just get other people to replicate what they did, because you, like they say, oh, you don't have Tom Brady. But you have CJ, and I think CJ is really gonna have to step up this year. I really want him to be himself, because we know what he is. We know what his arm like. If Kaylee can, I think Kaylee can get even better CJ. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wouldn't be worried about the offense being, oh man, it's going, because he's saying similar things that Bill O'Brien has said, but just because you say that don't mean, okay, I'm running this type of Flores over in Green Bay might say that. You know what I'm saying? It's different people who may say that exact thing. Like, hey, we not, I'm a game playing offense or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't take, you know, I would take that with a grain of salt. But other than that, I'm super excited about the hire. I like how him and D'Amico are meshing already. And D'Amico ready to give him the keys and look, so he can pay attention to what he need to pay attention to. And you can see that in D'Amico too. I don't know if y'all seen that in the press conference, but D'Amico seemed like he ready to get back to work, man. And I just can't wait to draft, man, because I know that's gonna, that's it's going down. But yeah, not to skip too fast too early. But what? But other than that, though, like I say, man, I like it. He's got me excited, and I guess from that point, where do we go from that? I guess we do go to. Is there anything else I wanted to bring up on there? Because other than that, I think like we should go into the draft. Or did y'all have anything else I wanted to go into?
I got one thing I want to add.
Shout out that boy Brandon.
Yeah, my guy Brandon. As he said, I like tight ends, right? I really want to know how he feels about Dalton Schultz, and does he feel like he can get the most out of Dalton, or how does he feel about Brevin? Like, you know, like these are questions that like I feel like and no slight
Stover at the same time.
Yeah, Stover, like the group of guys you got in that room right now, only three of them. You know what I'm saying? Dalton, Stover, and Brevin. I really want to know, man, how does he feel about those guys? I mean, he said I like tight ends, and what I see is he's not committed to saying what he want to do, what he wants, and things of that nature. So he's kind of AD was good. He's already acting like Nick Casario to a degree with being secretive. But other than that, man,
but you know when you interview, and that tight end room is not really heavily besides Schultz. It's not really heavily invested. Like after next year, we can move on from Schultz. Brevin Jordan, we signed him to, I think, another 1 year extended deal. Like, and then you got Stover, which was drafted in the fifth round. So yeah, and then you got Quentin Tarantino, which I don't know if he'll be back. So you would know, you would know because when you interview for that job, one thing that they're going to ask you is, okay, look at our offensive line. Can you make that work? And you got to come up with a way that you just can't go in there and say, I can't make none of this shit work. So when you look at that tight end room, Nick want to know, like, I know I wasn't that off basis to give Brevin Jordan an extended year and sign Dalton Schultz. You think you can make this shit work? Now, we'll know doing free agency and doing the draft. Because if they take Tyler Warren or move up to get a tight end, then he's already telling you, I don't like that tight end room. So you already know that tight end is going to be a great emphasis. And I really think that Brevin Jordan, I don't think we've seen the best of, we haven't seen the best of Brevin Jordan. Anybody that thinks that Brevin is not it, then just, you got to think about who was his coordinator. That's what I got to go with that. But go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I just wanted to piggyback on just what you was about to say. I think that we could be on the brink of a breakout season from Brevin Jordan because tight ends eating this offense, and I think he can fit the case of a Tyler Higbee or something like that. I think he can. I mean, Brevin can get open, bro. And I think he's been improving every year. Shout out to Texans 22, man. I want to give y'all a big shout out. Let's see. Yeah, and I do think, Dalton, man, hopefully Dalton, I seen Dalton the other, as a matter of fact, on Twitter, he had that car. I looked up that car that he got pulled over in, man, and that is a $350,000 car, bro. I'm like, what the hell? And it's old too. I think it's from '96 or something like that. But
look, that's one of my favorite cars. If you are a Fast and Furious fan like myself, that's the iconic Nissan Skyline.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, see, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, see, look, when I seen it, now that car is really not that expensive. Now, what it is, you can only buy them in Japan, overseas. And when that car comes over here, it goes through customs. What customs does is they strip that car down of all its foreign parts and put in American parts, which drives the price of that car up. Right.
Hey, I'm laughing at what AD saying. He's talking about we got to get past that playoff play against the Browns. Brevin ain't someone we should be relying on. No, I'm not saying. Yeah, no. Look, I'm gonna stand on it. I think that Brevin, that play in the Browns and that game was indicative of him going up. He steady going up. Like this year, if he wouldn't have hurt himself, Brevin was about to take off. He came back in this year looking almost way better than he looked the year prior. But he had the injury. But I just think, man, I think Brevin is way better than like Cal say. He's way better than what we think he is. And I'm glad we re-signed him. I think that you know what I'm saying, this will be a proven year to him, which it always is to him. And it's just gonna put that extra juice. He's just gonna get that extra juice to do what he got to do. And I'm excited about that though, Patton, because the tight end position. I just wonder, like in free agency and you know what I'm saying, in the draft, like will they address it? And if they do address it, I'm excited to see what type of player that they go after. Because one thing somebody asked him in the crowd, also, I don't know who it was that asked him, but it was about how they able to work with players that was on nobody radar. You know what I'm saying, like the Cooper Cups and the Puka Nakuas and stuff like that, right? So asked him, what could he do with like Mechie and Hutchinson? And I liked his answer, but I don't know if that was tongue in cheek, pause, or was that like something, like was it something to that? Do y'all think like that he can actually get something out of that wide receiver core that Bobby Slowey couldn't?
I think so, and that was Big Sarge. Shout out to Big Sarge for calling Puka Pika. He called him Pika Nakua. I was like, Sarge, his name is. He said Pika Nakua. Sarge is Puka. But I mean, Puka was drafted in the 7th round, and you got to think that once again.
Hold on, pause. Really, that dude was drafted in the 7th round?
I think he was drafted real low. He was like, I'll look it up again. But can somebody in the chat? I know AD pretty much good with that, but I think he was drafted in the 7th round. And what Sarge said was coming out of college, Puka and Cup wasn't highly touted wide receivers. Now, I don't know what Cup was drafted at, what position. But basically what Sarge was saying is, over there with McVay, you were able to get that much 5th round for Puka. Okay, you was able to get a whole lot of production from Puka. His first year, it was like a crazy year. And so he was saying, if you can get that production out of him, what do you see as far as Hutchinson and Mechie on film? Once again, going into that interview room, Nick drafted Hutchinson, and he drafted Mechie pretty high. So you already know, like, Nick don't move away from players real quick. I mean, even like highly player, we haven't seen Nick cut a 1st or a 2nd round player yet.
And I like that. I like that fact that he does that, because you allow a player to develop. Because in Texans past, we would get rid of a player before they actually were. It's some players that got away from us. Like, what's the cornerback that started? What was his name that was with Green Bay? He was real good, and every time they used to say he was a former Texan, I used to be like, when was it? And literally, I think we got rid of him. I think he was, I don't know if he was undrafted or what it was. I think it's Terrence Williams or something. That don't ring a bell.
I can't remember, but make sure you keep that question on the board.
Yeah. It's a few times that we done got rid of players, so that's a good play. I mean, that's a good point. I really do like the fact that he holds, like we develop players, just like I say, Brevin Jordan, and they can go right into that question. What were you going to say about that, Cal?
AD say, who's the odd man out? This is the great thing about having a brand new offensive coordinator. We don't know. That man, when you sit down, that man probably had to sit down with Nick and D'Amico, and probably had to just break down film from different positions. Like, he's the coordinator. So he's over all of the entire offense. Okay, these are the plus plays. We don't need to look at all that, because we saw what we got out of it. But these plays that we were 1st and 10 and we only got 1 yard, what did you see that we did wrong? What scheme we could have ran? What could we ran 22 personnel? Could we went 4 wide? You're asked a bunch of questions. So my thing is, if you look at this list right here, the one guy that's on this list that has a catch and go
And I know he said take that Cleveland game up out of it, but you can never remove a 75, 78-yard catch and go touchdown from a tight end because you don't see it all the time. That's something hard to replicate. So if I'm looking at Brevin Jordan and he's coming back, I got to find a way to get that guy open. I got to find a connection, some chemistry with him and CJ, and work a scheme out that, hey, I can get him involved early.
And that's
He's
what
not going to be. He's not going to be my first tight end because I don't think Brevin has the blocking skills to do that. Stover looks like he's a blocker, but he don't look as fast, out of his cuts. But he's still young. And Schultz, he's getting paid. I don't think it'll be a drafted player. I think it's going to be all three that they're going to go with. I don't know if they're going to draft a tight end. I really don't.
I mean, if Quentin Tarantino come back, I really think he can really get a lot out of him. Like for real.
Dude is
good.
Really,
he just can't stay on the field worth a damn.
I'm gonna say we can get some hard 3 games out of him, man. I'm telling you.
For real.
Those other 14 games, just forget it. He out of there.
Let me interject real quick, man. You keep all 3, right? But with you keep all 3 and you draft a tight end. The thing is, you have to, and like he also said this too. He's going to utilize guys to their strengths, and that's a good thing. And if I'm gonna hold him at that, right? If he's going to do that, let's look at the guys we got. Bourbon, he's the receiving tight end. He's more of a receiving tight end. He shows more effort in the blocking game than Schultz. Schultz is a straight up receiving tight end. So that's it. He don't show no effort in the run game. He can't block. He don't try to block. So if Schultz won't be out there, then he's going to catch the ball. And then with Stover, we don't have a traditional fullback. Stover is the blocking tight end out of those 3. So I can see Stover lining up at fullback from time to time, if not all the time. And I know the guy wanted to draft from Iowa, so I mean, that's the dominant from tight end. You know what I'm saying? So that's the dominant in the rough for me. AD, no, I wouldn't. No, I feel like the tight end I want from Iowa is better than him. He's more of an all-around tight end. That guy there is just a receiving threat.
And he's liable to be off the board. Like I'm with Cal though. I don't see us going tight end early unless it's like one of those like somebody who slipped and it's like ridiculous. Like you know what I'm saying? Something that would just make you change your whole. Hold up, what AD saying? AD said what?
Prior to what I said.
But no, man. It's who is Harold Fanning Jr. though?
I don't know. I wrote down his name. I'm gonna go and look at him later on tonight.
Fanning, he's from I want to say that's the guy from the small school. He's nice. He's real, real nice. But I feel like for what we need right now, I would love to have him if we had more draft capital. You know what I'm saying? But the tight end I picked for us, bro, is the perfect guy for us. We talked about that on the last show, I believe.
What do y'all think we like if we trade out of the first? What do y'all think would be?
This not the year to do that,
huh?
This not the year to do that.
This not the year to trade out of the first?
Nah, not this year. So, and let me explain real quick. I agree, AD, but just not what we got going on. Not right now. I've been looking at mock drafts, and right now they're kind of all of them are different, right? But the most ones I'm running into, I'm starting to see that these people, these quote unquote experts, don't have none of these teams reaching for a certain player at a certain position. Every team from the mocks I've seen they're placing guys on teams that have a need, right? All these guys fit that team. Like what we always say, you can get the best player, but if the best player goes to the wrong team or the wrong system, it's a waste, right? So reason why I'm saying this is not the year to trade out the first, if everybody in the draft stays put and they draft based on scheme fit and what they need and not a reach, this will not be the year. Because if it goes that way, the guy, me and Swan, shout out to Swan and Larry Payton, Golden from UT. I feel like he's gonna be there, and either him or LB3, one of those guys. Bring him AD. There you go. Trade.
AD say trade scenario: trade 25 pick for a second and a third this year. You end up with 2 seconds and 2 thirds. Now, something. See, that's the ideal I was thinking. Like, if we did trade that, could we get a haul like that? It's the 25. It's the 25th pick worth that capital though. Y'all think somebody would pay that for that 25th pick, a second round and a third this year? I ain't gonna lie, that's almost like that's like a half court shot right there, AD. Like, it's good. I love it.
You can pull some shit off like that, but I don't see no team.
No, Cleveland ain't got no picks. Or maybe they did just trying to get their picks back.
And that's a good return if all we send it out is that first round pick. If that's all we send it out, and we get 2 seconds and another third, or a second and a third, like
I have to trade that 25th and John Mechie.
Well, speaking of Mechie, I feel like Nick Cato is going to get the most out of Hutch versus getting the most out of Mechie.
That's a good scenario. Let's talk about that, because I kind of feel like Mechie might benefit more. Like, I don't know. Mechie runs better routes than Hutchinson. I just think that. Now, hands, that's another story. But as far as running routes the way he can actually get open, get separation, it's Mechie. The way that they use Hutch is kind of different. Hutch is like it's almost like Mechie is a slot, and Hutch plays like your bag of X. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just that's what I see. He say, I'm convinced y'all hate Mechie. No, I love Mechie. I couldn't wait for him to do the Karate Kid celebration, man. On time.
But you know what, Nitty? Everything that we've seen with Hutch and Mitch, turn around. I got my back door right here. Just throw it out the window, because we had an offensive coordinator that was incompetent.
Yeah,
he couldn't come up with a scheme to protect the quarterback. He couldn't really get the tight ends to block. Like, it was so many things that went wrong with that team to only average 21.9 points a game. So I don't know what skills at this level that Mitch and Hutch have. Under this scheme with this new offensive coordinator, we have no idea.
We know
but
one thing. Once Mitch ain't scared to block. This
Hutch ain't scared to block you. Hutch the same way. He'll block too. They some big body guys. They some big body wide receivers.
Yeah, they may.
But it's up to him. It's up to him to, like, right now, that dude is probably just watching film of those guys. He probably going back to their college days to see why they was drafted where they was drafted at. Like, he's probably like, okay, I'm looking at this. I understand the cancer and the ACL, but why is this production where it's at? Like, what is it that's not matching? It got to be something that's not matching, because I don't think Mitch is a bust from lack of talent. And so I think you're going to get something out of Mechie that's going to be like, oh, okay, this is what we've seen at Alabama.
I like how both of their names got the TCH in it. It's like, you got Mitch or you got Hutch. Hutch and Mitch. And
to combat what AD said, hey, Hutch made more plays than Mitchie, bro. Period. Like, Hutch made more big time plays than Mitchie.
Mitchie could have made more plays though, but he just was dropping the damn ball, bro. Like,
could.
Remember, there was a point in time when you was like, damn, CJ forcing the ball to him.
Yeah, right. He's trying to get you the ball, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't think we get any comp picks. I think somebody said earlier in the year, Brandon,
depending on who we lose.
Yeah, that's probably the reason too that why they wasn't tripping on the go ahead and sign Diggs and upfront load the contract, and we only have them for 1 year, because they was like, if we lose them, we were gonna get some comp picks for that. So we'll see. And he said, pull up the tape, man.
Right.
And he said some lies. Somebody telling some lies. No, maybe he was talking about what I was saying, but I know one thing. I'm with Cal, man. I think that Nick can bring something out of those different people can get different things out of players. We done seen it happen all the time, man. Players leave and they go somewhere else, and all of a sudden they playing right. You know what I'm saying? We saw what's his name make it all the way to the Cowboys, man. I don't know how good he played over there, but what was his name? The lineman that we got from UCLA.
Suafilo.
Oh, Suafilo.
Suafilo made it to Dallas, man, and that's offensive line heaven right there. And he was trash here. He was a saloon door here. Let me see. I think it comes to another reason the Chiefs let Trey Smith go. So Trey Smith. I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking at first in free agency about Trey Smith, but then I seen somebody show a replay of what one of the rookies for the Philadelphia Eagles did to him on a run play. I'm talking about put him on his ass. I'm talking about, and he had to wait. He had the weight difference on dude.
16, 13. Hey, Texans 22. What is 12, 16, and 13, 24?
That probably was their catches, right?
No. Wait. If he's saying, okay.
They probably were targeted. Hutch probably was targeted 16 times.
So look, Hutch, I got the stats right here. Hutch was targeted 26 times. He caught 12 passes for 117 yards. Mechie was targeted 37 times. He caught 24 passes for 254 yards and a touchdown. Okay, I got you. Yeah, but I mean, the difference is CJ was forcing the ball to Mechie way more. Like,
no, for real, AD, for real, he was trash. Like I was hoping I could get that past that, but yeah, he was super trash when he was in Dallas. But yeah. Oh, that was their catch rate. Yeah, he said that's their catch rate. But yeah, man. So
they took Hutch play after they took Hutch had that one play, that receiver reverse. He didn't run that play at all this year.
You want to know why? Because they gave it to Tank.
Yeah,
and that's how I knew Bobby wasn't a good OC, because he didn't scheme off of that with Hutch. Because being that you had Hutch, see, not too many times that you're going to get a player right to run a certain play and actually be good on that play, like consecutively, right? So once you do that consecutively, believe me, that other defensive coordinator on that other side is like, hey, y'all, no, whenever y'all see that boy Hutchinson get ready to run that jet sweep, y'all get ready. You know what I'm saying? He could have schemed off of that so bad, bro, but he never did it. It's like I don't know what it was. He started getting it to Tank, and Tank. I think Tank only had success maybe one time running that play, bro. Like, other than that, though, man, it was a
forced play to Tank.
Yeah, they was forcing it to him. Let me see.
Yeah.
He said that alarm mean time for a new drink. I'm drinking water today. But what that boy say, I'm about to pop these edibles. But no, man, I really, like I say, I'm excited about what's going on. But if they take a wide receiver, right, that may change things up too, because now I think that's the gift. Like, because you got a new OC, right? You got to do something for the OC. The OC is gonna be in the draft room. They gotta let him at least pick two guys at least on offense. And I think one of his gifts would be a wide receiver. I think wide receiver should be on our list. Like you say, Cal, you don't think they would go tight end, but how do you feel about wide receiver? How do you feel about the chances of them, drafting a wide receiver?
Man, I could see them drafting a wide receiver high. And if they don't get him in free agency, get one in free agency, I could see them drafting one high. And I could see them drafting one in the later rounds. Because look at the wide receiver room. Like, there is, like, as much as I would like to see Hutch and Mitch back, it is question marks about those two. Then you got Robert Woods. You got Tank Dell that's injured. And then you got Diggs that may not come back. That's five wide receivers right there. So you have to heavily address that. So you can't have a guy who, this is his first year being offensive coordinator, and you take C.J. Stroud, second, number 2 wide receiver Wade and Diggs, number 3 Dale is hurt, number 4 and 5 is question marks, and Woods is a year older. You have to address that wide receiver room very heavily. So I can see that wide receiver room being 4 new faces in there, but they're going to heavily. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 drafts, one real early and one late in the latter rounds, or they move back and pick up an extra pick and find one in the 5th or 6th round. But they're going to address that wide receiver room real heavy.
And bringing in some undrafted free agents.
I got a question for you, Kel.
On that end, too.
Yeah.
Is there a certain receiver you looking at 25? Barring we don't trade back or trade up, we stay at 25. Is anybody that have you seen so far?
Man, somebody turned me on to the big wide receiver from TCU. Now I don't know if he's slotted to go that heavy. What's his name? Savion?
He got a funny name. What are you talking about though?
I think Savion from TCU. I don't know if he's like, because right now, we could say, well, oh yeah, he's a 2nd round, 3rd round, or whatever guy. But pro days and combines can make non-believers out of believers. He turn around and run a 4.4, something crazy and some crazy broad jump. It's gonna be like, oh, okay. So I like him because I like his size, man. I like the size and athleticism. So that's the only one that's been on my map. And I know you was Savion Williams. I know you was mentioning the guy from UT. I'm gonna have to go back and watch him again. But
it was I like the guy from Miami. He's I think his name.
He got a funny name too.
No better Fuco.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't his name. But hey, I gotta read this right quick. AD talking about wide receiver room: Nico, Tank injured, Mechie, Hutch, and Knee Killer. Hey, y'all know who Knee Killer is, bro? You say his size? Pause.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5" height. Matthew Golden.
Matthew. Okay, so Golden was a transfer from U of H.
Shout out Mo Bees. He say Trey Harris.
Trey Harris, cool. But we talking about at 25. Like that if you trying to draft Williams at 25, that's an extreme reach. He's not a 1st round guy. My personal opinion. I don't care how good he does in his pro day. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't do that one.
Y'all think we go safety in the draft?
The guy I wanted at first.
No, so we're not getting Georgia. The dude from Georgia.
No, I'm gonna tell you. Look, he's gonna drop down to 24, and the Vikings are gonna pick him up. The reason why the Vikings are gonna pick him up is because their safety that they've had for over a decade. And I want to say Harrison Smith.
Harrison Smith. Yeah.
You should know the name. He's been there over a decade, bro. And he was talking last couple of years about this may be the last year. Every year is the same shit. This may be the last year. So, excuse me. I can see him off the board. And I've already moved from wanting him. Like, we have more pressing needs. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have him in a perfect world. Grab him and grab the receiver. But
y'all know what I think is crazy about the safety position in the draft, though? This is the reason why I kind of brought it up, because it's kind of unbelievable, but at the same time, like, I don't know. What do y'all think about the fact that Deion Sanders' son, like, wasn't even invited to the combine?
He's gonna be on somebody's team. He's gonna get drafted. It's gonna be like probably 5th or 6th round. Now, because he's Deion Sanders' son, he's gonna get the extra camera, right? Mm-hmm. And it's every time they put the camera on him, or the extra camera on him, they catch him when he's not doing good. They catch him in bad plays. Everybody has bad plays, period. Mm-hmm. Whether you miss the tackle, take a bad angle, you know what I'm saying? But the guy is a football player. And due to him being a football player, he's going to end up in the right system in the later rounds, and he's going to shock a lot of people, bro. A lot of people.
Yeah, I think as a tackler, so far on the field, what I see his NFL come to me would be Kareem Jackson. At the safety position, though, you know what I'm saying. And I don't know. I mean, that's good. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's just crazy for, you know what I'm saying? Now I think I know why Deion Sanders be literally, which I ain't gonna lie. I know that's got to hurt him a little bit to hear Deion say all the time that Shador is his favorite son. He said I in the open just freely. Like, hey, this is he actually gave Shador a birthday shout out on Twitter, and he was like, "Happy birthday to my favorite son." I was like, "Ooh."
I think he do that. I think he do that for motivation because Shador is naturally talented. Like I mean, you could just look at Shador and it was like, hey, yeah, he's that. He knew what's the other son name?
I don't know, but he say Shador is his favorite though.
It's Shador, Shallow, and the other one.
Shallow.
Shallow is
Okay,
the one.
Shallow. He knows. Like his dad is a Hall of Fame like DB in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
That's motivation. Like, Shallow is a damn like he's a hitter. Like he's a hard nosed type of hitter. And so Dion knew that Shador was you're gonna be there. Shallow is probably some extra motivation that I have to give him. And he'll say that like Dion have always ranked all of his kids.
Say Shallow gonna be a special teams player.
That's cool. However you can get it in. But you know what? His football IQ, I just looked it up today. Dude, 25 years old.
Oh yeah, he is. He's one of those older guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he probably can be like maybe just a rotational player. I don't think he'll be a starter, a Pro Bowler. It's kind of like one of those, I wouldn't say a Bronny James type, because I think talent-wise, he's going to be better than close. He's going to be better. He's going to be better than Bronny because what he did in Colorado. I've seen him make plays. I didn't see Bronny make plays at USC, but I think Shallow is going to get. I think Shallow is going to get to the next level, and he's going to make somebody 53-man roster. It may be the practice squad the first year. Who knows? But I think he might do something, man.
But AD, back to your question that you had asked, the pressing needs. I think that our pressing needs is kind of like what we covered earlier, like the wide receivers. I think that we need O-line help most definitely. Safety and maybe a defensive tackle. These are things that just pop in my mind as soon as I think about what we really, really need. He said, I've been liking Burden, Beck, Royals, Phelps, and all no. These guys would have to slip down the board. I think I don't see us trading up to do anything. I seen somebody online saying that like we can make this big gigantic just trade up, and I don't see us doing it because we too many. It's too many needs that we need. To make things happen. Now we'll see once. Like I say, once March 1st. That's when free agency starts, right?
Yeah, I think it was like right around the 12th or 13th. I got to look. I heard something on the radio when the season started.
The league New Year's March the 1st.
So I think
March 1st, okay.
Two receivers in the draft. I don't know what rounds they get picked in yet. Yeah, I definitely think we're taking 2 wide receivers. Even if we took one in the draft and an undrafted free agent, I think that what Nick Caley is good at and what he probably learned from over there with McVay is taking a player, and he said this in his press conference too. Let us not forget that he's going to take players, and I hope he really does it because I've heard a lot of people say this, but take players only what they good at and only try to put them in the position of where they good at. And he said, I'm not trying to fit a circle into a square peg. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was sold right there, to be honest with you, because
Damian Pierce.
It seemed like what we kept, because bro, I kept saying that on the show, bro. I'm like, how in the hell is they steady trying to run this zone with Damian Pierce and they see he can't even get out the backfield, bro? Like, how hard headed do you have to be? Like to be honest, like I'm glad Singletary came in to do his thing. But that actually kind of made it actually hurt DP's confidence a little bit. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it kind of messed with his confidence a little bit because you were putting him in position to fail. Like it's just that's what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, man, I hope that we have an OC that going to live by what he said, and that's what's got me excited about the fact that we can actually have somebody that puts people in there, right? Like, don't put Dalton Schultz in a run play where he's gonna be a dominant blocker. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't do that. Like, you know, it's that simple. It's not rocket science. It's like it's real simple. He say D'Amico may get at least 2 guys he likes this draft, likely a DT and a safety. That's what I'm thinking. I think as far as defense, we can get us a good tackle, because I seen a lot of those like good one at the Senior Bowl too. I don't know their names, but as we go into the off season, we'll start getting real familiar with these guys. He said when Nick was drafted for need outside of CJ. Will Anderson, but that was a D'Amico's thing, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, Dameon Pierce, when he drafted Dameon Pierce, we needed a running back.
Yeah.
We were in need of a running back when he drafted Dameon Pierce, and that's why that by him being good, they gave the keys right to him, because it was like, look, we drafting you to start, and just so happened he was a good.
Hey, AD, Will Anderson was most definitely a need. It was also a necessity as well.
Yeah, because we didn't have JJ. We needed Will.
Bruh, for what we got, in that draft with CJ and Will.
Who was our edge rushers before then?
Me and you.
For real. Like, I don't even remember who we had when Lovie Smith was out there. Who was playing our edges, bro? For real. Like
JG.
Oh yeah, Green Yard. He was
the thing about Green Yard, he was always injured.
Yeah, and not only that, we had Jerry, what was his name?
Jerry
Hughes.
Yeah.
And that wasn't gonna get it. That wasn't cutting it right there. So now Will was a need, AD, for real.
Right.
Shout out Larry Payton, man, in the building.
Dr. Payton, man, what's good, brother?
You say, what areas of the team would y'all fill out in free agency, and what needs would you address in the draft?
I got one. Oh, I got one. Running back. But guess who?
Ooh.
Guess who?
Who?
Nick Chubb.
Damn, Nick Chubb gonna want that bread though, bro.
He not. He ain't
gonna get it. He ain't gonna get it coming out for injury.
Oh, he not. Hey, what is Nick known for? 1 year prove-it deals, right?
Yep.
Hey, now, granted, hear me out, y'all. Granted,
he's
coming off an injury. He has a lot of wear and tear on that tire, but this guy is a goddamn dog. All right, you give him. Let's say in Cleveland they ran the zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he comes from in Georgia, they ran the power. He's one of those few running backs that can thrive in both schemes. You know what I'm saying? Bring him in here. He's not going to cost an arm and a leg. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 year, definitely a 1 year deal. Maybe let's say 4 or 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit of the incentive boost. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, bro, think about it.
No, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That makes a lot of sense. That's a good one. I'm talking about that's a real good one, because I was not even thinking that at all. But bro, him and Mixon and Pierce in the backfield, bro.
I mean, Pierce gonna be in Dallas.
Man, you think we losing Pierce this year?
I mean,
yeah, I just looked at when I pull up Nick Chubb, I just saw that the first story that popped up was him going to Dallas. But Nick is 29 years old. You give him and what is your greatest chance to win and to sign a 1 year deal to possibly be 30 years old can sign a 1-and-1 the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think if Nick Caserio can kind of sweeten that deal, I mean, hell, I would love to have them two as a 1-2 punch. I'd be happy to let Pierce go after that. Like, go ahead and pursue something else. But just for that 1 year, Chubb and Mixon.
No, that would be good. But I mean, now that we know he going to Dallas now, I'm back on my DP. Pause.
That was just one of the stories that popped up.
No, but it looked
like it's a prediction.
About 2-3 people that have said it and said he's predicting.
Well, Dallas need running backs like crazy. So any running back that's going to be available.
Look at this one though. Let me see if y'all can read that if I get it closer.
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans linked to full-time. What's the name? So, and that's 13 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
For who? What did it say?
Nick Chubb. They say Houston Texans linked to full-time Pro Bowl weapon. Hey, Pat. Hold up, Pat, man. You might be on to something, bro.
AD, I think his name is Compton or Hampton, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to AD, Mo Beasley. Free agency, bro. Free agency.
Y'all address linebacker in the draft.
Free agency.
I think first and foremost, Toa gonna come. Like, did y'all see during the press conference how they were showing certain drafts down at the ticker at the bottom of the screen? They were showing like some of the highlights on the team, and Toa was up there. I think he had the most tackles than there. Now, Grugier Hill once had the most tackles on the team too. But I just think that his was a little bit fluff. I think what Toa did was like, improvement. I think he's gonna be better. Christian Harris is gonna be chomping at the bit. He damn near missed the whole year. You got Shire coming back. So I don't know. And because this was Shire first year. Yeah, so you got Shire coming back. So I don't know. What do we need at linebacker?
You don't draft one. I mean, if you do sign somebody, you probably bring back special team Hall of Famer and Never Hewitt. And
Never ain't coming back. Never say he want to go somewhere where he can get rid of some real. Never's not going to play. If those three linebackers are healthy, Never would never see the field, and he know that. He's going to go somewhere that he think he can get some PT.
Probably go back to New York, the Jets.
Yeah.
Larry said we need a speedy third down back. That's what Jaws is for. Pause. I think what's the name? What is his name? Jordan what?
Gerard Jordan.
Oh, Gerard Jordan. Yeah, I think that
shout out to Chris Roy. He the one that Chris Roy was banging that drum, man. I had to go look at he convinced me. He wasn't even on my radar.
No,
Chris Roy was like, hey man, you gotta go see this guy. You gotta go see it. So I started looking him up. I'm like, yeah, shout out to Chris Roy. Rest in peace, bro.
For real. He's nice, bro. And I think that this off season, he played in the preseason, but
red shirt.
Yeah. And so I think he ready. I think he comes in.
Yeah.
Be surprised. I think he'll be a camp surprise. And I think in this offense, so you got to think about it. In this offense, running backs eat too, man, and different running backs. Sometimes it's a three-headed monster.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, what do you say? Dallas needs HBs, but this is also an HB heavy draft.
My running back.
Say neither for linebacker.
Yeah.
Let me say we got enough LBs. Yeah, I think if anything, man, you just sign back. I think they should bring back White. I like them. Depends.
White not coming back.
Well, if he's not coming back, they going either go with somebody who we had on the practice squad. See, we had some people on the practice
squad. What's the white guy we had, man? He was in Lovey. He was here with Lovey, and he was also in Illinois with Lovey.
And then
number 35.
35.
No, you're talking about he pretty good.
Jake Hansen.
Jake Hansen pretty good in covers too.
Hey, go back to Mo Beasley question. Go back to Mo Beasley question, bro.
Oh, Mo Beasley. Do y'all prioritize addressing defensive line in the draft or free agency first?
That's a good question.
Nick normally attacks it in the what's the name first?
Free agency, yeah.
Now,
I have to look at who's available as far as D tackles go in free agency. I feel like we're kind of good at DN. Barn, we bring back Barnett, and we also have what's our guy Solomon Byrd. We drafted last year from USC.
Yep.
But as far as the D tackles go, man, I would love to retain what's my guy Mike Edwards. I would love to retain him. We got Archie for another year. I don't know, man. Like it's one guy in the draft in particular.
No, we still got Bird.
Yeah,
Salt and Pepper. Yeah.
Oh, y'all, boy, wait, y'all just wait until he just man, that dude a weapon, bro. I don't know what happened to him this year. Say pause.
Oh wow, god damn, baby.
No,
Shit.
yeah, because he said Mo Beasley about to hit every position.
Was, bro. I'm gonna say this. Let me say this, man. Every year since we've
They
had
say that
DeMeco,
Foley don't want to come back. I'm like, who said that, man?
yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be a money thing. But let me say this, man. Then we can move to the next position. Since DeMeco has been here, he's changed that position, the D tackle position, every year. So whoever he brings in, they're gonna be all right. I believe that.
Yep, they come. It seems like this is D tackle school right here. You come here, you get better, and then they send you on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's almost like a microcosm of how he recycles them dudes during the game. How he just got them just recycle. He literally recycles the whole team like that every offseason. He's like, look, we can bring in some more guys. I just know Tim Settle's still gonna be here. Autry is still here, and we know Autry can play outside and inside. But we got Autry here. This is Hunter last year, man. Like, I don't know. Do y'all think like the end of this new year coming, or do you think before the year is over with that we extend Hunter?
Yeah, it might be a restructured.
You extend them to bring the cap hit lower.
Yeah.
Hold on.
To get some more flexibility.
Mm-hmm. I got a question for Mo Beasley, bro. Are you a real Texan fan? Like, how you not know this guy?
They say, do y'all know anything about the D-line coach? Yeah, man. How you don't know about Frank Oakham, man? Like Big Frank? Big Frank, but no.
Shout out to Mo Beasley, bro. Now I need to know, man. Like,
they say Big Frank is down. They say Big Frank is what's the name, bro? No bullshit. They say Big Frank is the assistant. I read that the other day. I had to read it twice because I was like, man, I kept seeing the article and it said assistant D-line coach. So I'm not gonna lie. Who is the D-line coach if he's the assistant?
He's a D-line coach, bro.
It said assistant though.
I'm telling you.
Was he an assistant where he was coming from?
Maybe that's what it was. I read that. Maybe that's what I read, bro.
I read that he was the D-line coach.
Oh, okay.
That's what I read.
He is the D-line coach, man. Yeah, that's just Big Frank.
As a D-line coach, bro, like it's not. That's one of the easiest positions to coach, bro. Like depending on your scheme, and I know with the way DeMeco runs shit, guys gotta play gap, the wide nine shit, and it's attack. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. But Frank, I thought Raw had left. Damn. But Frank, one of them guys, bro, where when he played, you know, he was very, very space eater. Pause. Like you wasn't moving him off the line too much. You had to double, sometimes triple team with a little chip and get him off the goddamn line.
Mm-hmm.
He played with DeMeco too, right? If I'm not mistaken, they was on the same team.
Yeah.
But let me
look. Read this right here, y'all.
Dr. Payne just put it in a bull ring.
Yeah, it's he gonna be hold up. He say Rod White is the D line. Okay, yeah. Rod White.
I thought Rod had left though. I didn't know Rod was still there.
No, see, he kept him. He just brought him a new assistant up in this joint. Okay,
okay.
He said, Oakham will be his assistant. Shamar Stewart as a rookie version of Autry to take snaps at both D and D tackle.
Hey, that guy's special. Well, he got to go to the right system, though.
Man, when anything is Shamar, am I hearing that right? Is that same? Ain't that other dude name too?
Shamar Moore.
It's that who I'm talking about. The guy that's kind of like, I think he got a spine kind of something with his spine, and he's a dude, but he, you know what I'm talking about. His name not Shamar.
With a spine problem.
He be on BET and stuff. It's like it's crazy that this dude even blew
up.
I
know you talking about. Yeah, I know you talking about.
Is his name Shamar?
I don't know, but you just put his image in my head, and I got to get it out.
Yeah, it's horrible, bro. I don't see. I was just telling my wife the other day. I said, "Man, we let certain people get famous. It's ridiculous, bro. Like that's what time it is. Like in this day and age, if you can't get famous, there's something wrong with you." It's easy to get famous now, bro. And it seemed like it's better if something was actually, you know what I'm saying? If you actually had some kind of like something wrong, like it's actually more to. But anyway, that's for another podcast. Shout out to Frankenstein Allcast podcast, man. But other than that, though, man, like I say, because I know we getting ready to we are hour in and we getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. But I really do think that, you know what I'm saying, we're really gonna see the development of this team. I think that we should just sit back and let it develop in front of us. And we're gonna see, you know, pretty much what's the new product that's put on the field. I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Houston Texans fan, I love when we get a new offense, because, you know, our offense tends to get stale sometime, and us as fans, like, that's how I know us as fans, as Houston Texans fans, we know balls, because we'll see that. Hold up, this look like he running this same play all the time, man. And we be watching these plays, and I don't know about y'all. Whenever we get a new offense, bro, I'm talking about, I be turned up during the preseason, all of that, because everything is fresh. Not only do the defense on the other side of the team, on the other side of the field, don't know what the hell we about to do. We as fans is sitting in the stands like we don't know what the hell they about to do either. And it's, I just think it's fun, man. It's a fun time to be having.
I want to add something real quick, bro. Going into this season, right? Remember, this is episode 69. For those in the Bull Ring, come back to this. I said it here first. Day one of training camp, when they all got pads on, I ain't talking about half shell, just, you know what I'm saying, jerseys and shorts. When they go full shell on the first day of training camp, pay attention to the offensive line and the defensive line. That's gonna dictate how our season is gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Right there, you ain't lying. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, bro.
Yeah,
it's like
we're in February, so we got some time before that happens. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't seen the draft, we ain't seen free agency, we ain't seen nothing yet. All we know is we got a new OC.
Yeah.
So when training camp rolls around, they go full shell. Remember, on the first day, who gonna win that battle? Either the offensive line or the defensive line. And most of the D-line normally wins because you're installing shit on the offense.
Bro, I can't wait, man. I cannot wait, man. If it's anything y'all boys want to
I made a couple of notes, man. I just want to run them by real quick just to get them off.
Oh yeah,
man,
take your turn.
Oh, you don't want me to take my time. We'll be here for another hour, man. Hey, man, but the first thing that when D'Amico was introducing Kaylee, he said the keyword, I interviewed a lot of people, and he thanked Nick Caserio and the McNairs for their assistance.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling you that, hey, man, this was my choice. This is my choice. It almost kind of seemed like a subtle arrogance, but it was like if I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna get fired by doing what I want to do. And that was double entendre, 69. But you know what? And then I got to go to this. One of the reporters asked the questions. Was CJ involved? Was he consulted in the potential OC?
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard that one too.
D'Amico said he laughed and said, "I had to hire the OC." Hey. He said, "I." Like a lot of times, D'Amico was subtle in the past, but he was very direct. Yeah. Man, I ain't gotta ask CJ for his permission.
Hey,
CJ wasn't even.
Yeah. I got that same thing from that. I was like, hold on, D'Amico. D'Amico not being as passive as it used to be.
Another thing. Let me point this out. Number 3. You said this earlier, but I took a note of it. Nitty, when he said, Kelly said, no square pegs in a round hole. Mm-hmm. Meaning that, look, I'm gonna make sure whatever your strength is, I'm gonna make that conducive to your strength, and we're gonna work on this thing together. Like, I'm not gonna force you to run my system. So when people say, what system you gonna run? You gonna run a New England system or a Ram system? No, he basically told you, I'm gonna run my system with the talent that I have.
And for some reason, a lot of people didn't want to accept that. And like I told Patton earlier, an NFL playbook probably have about 3,000-4,000 plays, and it probably got a play from all 32 teams. But you can take one play and do 15 different formations from that same play. Like you could, I mean, lining inside the hash, outside the hash, putting the guy in motion, taking the guy to the backfield. It can be the same damn play, but it's just the different looks that you give. You know, that was one of the things that I looked at. Patton just said something that was real key. He said, and I thought you was going to go to this, Patton, when you said when they got on they full gear, look at the offensive defensive line. Katie said, I'm an energetic guy. I'm passionate. That's what D'Amico said. We're going to see how passionate and how the offensive line buy in. If one guy shows up on first day and say, yeah, I'm here, and it's Laramie Thompson. Because they have given that guy a pass, and if he just shows up, So that's another thing that we need to watch out for. Let me, I'm finna wrap this up. One of the things that D'Amico said, I'm looking for the right guy to lead us. That means that he was saying that Bobby couldn't be a leader. D'Amico just want to deal with the offense. He don't have time. I mean, the defense. He ain't got time for the offense. Hey, look, bro, if I hire you, can you, CJ, and the rest of these guys over there work that shit out and let me deal with me and Bert? Let me do our thing over here. I ain't got time for CJ knocking on my door in the middle of the meeting talking about, hey, man, Bobby did that shit again. Like, no, I ain't trying to hear that. Kaylee said he wanted to build a relationship with players, and he has with players great energy and great vibes. Bobby didn't have great energy or vibes. Oh shit. Man, did you see our and what's his name? Frank, our special teams coach,
Frank Ross.
Frank Ross get unglued on a big play. D'Amico gets unglued on a big play. Schlark sit over there and just rub his head and just like, and your team can build off your excitement. And one last point that was really key to me when they was talking about the offensive coordinator. I mean, the offensive line coach. D'Amico said, he has confidence in Cole, and they was looking for one leading voice in that room.
I caught that.
That mean it was too many voices in that room, and Cole couldn't give his input. So when everybody was saying, "Hey, fire everybody," you can't do that because you might be throwing some talent away. And it was probably during mid-season to say, "Hey, man, I said we need to do this and we need to do that," and these guys are not listening. So by Cole being a coach with Kaylee back in New England, they already got a connection and a chemistry. So those are the notes that I picked up on. I know I just went rapid fire, but man,
Cole was once looked at as a top, you know what I'm saying, offensive line coach in the league at once upon a time. And especially when he was over there with the Patriots. But like you say, man, you made some good points, Cal. I'm talking about you hit that out of the park because there was a lot of things that were said in there, especially the fact that, it felt like, D'Amico was sending some shots. Yeah. Like he was saying certain things like alluding to the fact that, hey, Bobby wasn't really, taking care of his business. And he was just as disappointed in Bobby as much as we were. You know what I'm saying? Because you see that D'Amico, man, is a guy full of confidence, man. He has a lot of confidence, and he knows what he brings to the table. And that's the beautiful thing that I seen during that press conference. I'm like, man, the defense is like, it's gonna be the exact same thing, if not better than what it was last year. We just need that offense to do its thing. And I think another good point you made, Cal, is the energy of the OC. if we see, in which you see how Nick Caley said how he is, he's running everywhere, he's full of excitement. If you can get that from your OC, man, that's just gonna crank. Like him and Joe Mixon is gonna like. Somebody said it earlier, but him and Joe Mixon is going to love each other, bro.
Yeah,
that energy. Oh, come on! And now Joe back in an offense where kind of similar to what he was doing. And I'm pretty sure he's going to take all the good things he did here with us, all the good things he did in Cincinnati with Zach Taylor out there, which kind of runs a similar kind of offense. It's going to be
right.
It's a match made in heaven, I believe, man.
Yeah, and you know the hardest thing to do. Me coaching Little League football for 13 years, coaching offensive line, and me playing offensive line. It's really hard to make offensive line exciting. That you can make that shit as aggressive as the defensive line.
You heard what they said about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon actually turned them boys up. That's why that week one game against the Cleveland, I mean not Cleveland, but the Colts, they played like how they played. Because Joe actually, and then remember when Joe got hurt, right? Because he got hurt in the next game, I believe. Yeah. They were like, they were down. They hold the whole tempo of the line. And they actually said it, man. They said, man, we missed Joe out there. Joe actually had us turned up. That's what they said, man. So yeah, like I think it can definitely work on from with Joe and from what Nick Caley can bring to it, man. I think, man, we get back to some good football. And like I say, we don't know nothing that's gonna be happening. It's gonna be exciting for us to just see that offense actually just develop into what it's gonna develop into. And other than that, though, man, is it anything you wanted to bring, Patton, before we close out?
I like what Larry Payton said about Slow stepping in the press box. Do y'all think Nick Caley's going to be in the press box or on the sideline?
Oh, he's finna be on the sideline. I think the what's name too small for him. Press box going to be too small for him. Bro going to be standing on the table up in there. Like, I just think that he's going to be down with the players. I think he want to feel that energy.
Yeah, and I also think that it's key that the three leading guys. Well, it's four. I think your passing game coordinator gonna be up there. You know, your run game coordinator gonna be in the press box. But it's key if Gerard come back. It's key for both of them to always have constant communication with CJ after every. You know, it's key, and we didn't see that with Slowick. You know, but one thing I'm gonna finish with this. I'm not gonna be long-winded, but when D'Amico said that, you know, he didn't have to consult with CJ, he was basically letting everybody know Caley is the guy. He runs the room, and CJ, we need you to buy in. So when he said that we was going, well, like when they told CJ that we're hiring Caley, it's like, hey man. This is who we have. I know you probably wanted your boy Gerard to get the position. Don't know that for a fact. But this is the guy, but he's going to be running the shit. It ain't going to be no co-equals. It's going to be everybody's voice, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Caley's offense to run. And I like that, man. He's giving them the keys, man.
Make it one central thing, because we know that if you put a spearhead on it, then it can actually go through. You can throw a stick that don't have a spearhead and it's just gonna hit the wall or probably shallow. But you put that spearhead on there, it's gonna shoot. So you gotta have a spearhead, and so there we go right there, man. We like to think, oh man, golly. I don't know if it's something in that weather, because all of us been clearing our throats this episode. But anyway, we don't have to clear y'all throats.
Been clearing our throat because it's the 69th episode.
Oh yeah. Oh,
God damn.
Hey, and it's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Man, happy Valentine's Day to my wife and all the women out there, and you know what I'm saying. Happy Valentine's Day to, you know, all the women that celebrating it with other women. I don't know what they call it when it's when it's guys celebrating with guys, but I don't know. Yeah, what? Hey, no, for real. But look, y'all, man, we thank y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate everybody in the bull ring. Y'all know I'm gonna try to give y'all a quick shout out. We got Mo Beasley, AD, we got Brandon, we got Larry Payton. I don't know if I said AD already. I don't know if I said Brandon already. But yeah, I think this. Definitely shout out to Texas 22. There was somebody I know I'm missing, y'all. I know I'm missing. I want to make sure I'm scroll down here one more time.
I think that's it. I'm scrolling through also. I think
It was one somebody, y'all. It was one. They only said one thing. I think it was. They didn't say a whole lot. HGMW said free SPN. Hey, if you like it, I love it. It said all y'all get 2 bumps in the swirling tonight. 2 bumps. Hold on, I thought that boy said 2 bumps. I was going to say, what a bump? And now he said,
2
all
bumps
y'all
in
get
the
2 bumps in the swirl in tonight. Hey man, it's going down. Y'all
hey, I'm like your favorite movie, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Hey, for real, that's all we got, man. But other than that, though, man, make sure
Speak for yourself.
Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man, to the Twitter page, to the YouTube. It's Texans on 3, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. We appreciate y'all, and we up out there here.
Yes, sir.